It just shows that McCain and Bush both failed basic math, and that my 7-year-old son knows math better than they do. You cannot expect to pull, say, $100 from somebody who only makes $5, and then having those who make $200 go off without paying any part of their quota for their success. See what I mean? Do you understand where I'm getting to? Of course, it's an oversimplified way, but just to get it to put across to you, human can, because obviously you failed math. You're talking about um, defense spending reform. I don't think so. Not when you want a blank check over the $10 billion you already spent in Iraq. Facts speak for themselves. You keep pushing for the war in Iraq, where where $10 billion are spent a month, and where already $600 billion have already been spent, and you refused to sign and to suspend benefits, even though too much money has already been spent. That is wasteful spending. Paying to build a bomb, paying $1 million to build a bomb, only to have it destroyed the next day, that is wasteful spending. Don't tell me you have saved us taxpayers $6.8 billion. You spend far more than that in a month. You spend $10 billion a month on a ridiculous war, and you're saying, "Oh, I saved you $6.8 billion." What? You want a cracker now? Ridiculous. And yet then the Republicans ask, when those of us are throwing this out, you're like, "Oh, another angry, mad liberal." I'm not liberal, but I sure am mad, and I'm very angry at these figures. McCain pushes for $10 billion of money wasted in Iraq, and yet he has the guts to tell us that I said you 6.8. Bring us back the 600 billion. Then we'll applaud you. And then I mentioned this, so I'm going to cross it out. The spending freeze on anything except defense. Once again, this does not special interest. And we cannot, if anything needs to have a spending freeze, it's a defense. $10 billion a month. That's disgusting. When the schools are struggling to have the funds they need to be able to properly serve the students. You had the No Child Left Behind law, which was never properly funded. Why not? Because other funds that should have gone to No Child Left Behind were going to Iraq. Thieves. You say that also 12 vital programs, yet you have to mention them. Could it be, let me guess, oil industry? Could it be, let me guess, sending more fat cats over to their tanning salons? Obama hit it on the dot when he mentioned that we need to have people on a peace force. We need to get people to see us as a force of good that we are. America is a force of good with the right leadership. And a warmongering president is not him. We need a Peace Corps to help underdeveloped nations to be better developed, win their hearts and their minds, build democracies. That's the best way to fight terrorism and dictatorships. Not going half putting a half-hearted attempt at fighting a war against the world's number one terrorist, and then putting all your efforts in fighting a war that's strictly about oil. You were then asked about what solutions would you have to debt. You keep insisting about spending all this, about putting in this freeze, which is ridiculous. Yet you refuse to have any tax cuts. for the people, and you keep insisting on having these tax cuts for the rich. Oh, we're gonna raise your taxes. Where do you think you're gonna get the money? Come on, that's the only what we need to do to be able to relieve this problem. Obama's solution: break the bad habits. To start focusing on the revenues, not just on what is spent, but also what comes in, which is obviously something you have obviously neglected. A very excellent example of how Obama's math is better than McCain's. He said, "We cannot expect a teacher who's tightening the belt to sacrifice anything when a fat cat's making far more than he or she does is living a life of luxury." Wow, those are news to McCain. Let all the fat cats spend all the money that they want, while those who are really serving America's interests, which are the teachers, are suffering underfunding. And not a one size fits all spending piece. He clearly mentioned, contrary to what you keep saying about him, he clearly stated that he would look line by line at what spending should not be taking place and what programs could be improved and made more cost efficient. That does not sound like raising taxes to me, or like being more wasteful in the spending. On the contrary, insisting on spending $10 billion a month in a ridiculous war, that is wasteful spending. Your answer was, you didn't start out by answering the question. The answer was what was your plan to reduce the debt. You start off attacking McCain or raising taxes when he clearly stated that you are lying. Then you say about 300,000 jobs being created by small businesses, and saying you keep insisting that the small business would lose funds through those pay cuts. I have news for you. If that business makes more than $250,000 a year, that is not a small business. No, I don't think so. There's something wrong with your mind if you think it is. He clearly stated that those who would be getting a hike in their taxes were those who make $250,000 or more. You would see the increase in your taxes because you are filthy rich. Your special interest groups would see an increase because they are filthy rich. That's the real reason why you're pushing this lie, because your special interest will see their increase hikes, but they are not America. America is not composed of just the filthy rich. It's also composed of the rest of us who are struggling to make ends meet. And those of us are the ones you are neglecting. That's why you are the one who's losing. You said, let's not raise taxes for anybody. How do you expect to get the money to resolve it? Where do you expect to get the $10 billion you're spending in Iraq? Your oil corporations are the ones who are benefiting from it. Let them pay for it. Let them get their tax hikes. Doubling tax exemptions? Where are you going to do that from? What revenues are you going to get for that? The country's already bleeding, so where are you going to get the funds to resolve those issues? Once again, your numbers are not matching.